Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. Fantastic even. Let's dive straight in. It's been a pretty mixed and weird day in the world of cryptocurrency, if you want to call it that. Just a heads up for those who might be new here or aren't aware, optimism is still quite prevalent in the market. Despite what the prices might suggest and what's buzzing online, many analysts remain convinced about where prices are headed in the very near future. Interestingly, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen news confirming this sentiment. Now, here's the weird part. Those who were selling recently weren't the big players, but rather newer and smaller investors, maybe with just $50 or $100 in the game. They saw prices take a dip and panicked a bit. There's talk about Bitcoin, the world's largest crypto, gearing up for its next rally and potentially hitting $100,000. Financial analysts are optimistic, pointing to improving macro conditions and easing liquidity for risky assets. So, if you're new to this, buckle up. When we started discussing this topic, there was a video titled, "Why is Bitcoin falling? Why is Bitcoin going down?" A lot of folks on Twitter and Reddit were running around, searching for answers or coming up with their own theories. It's not just about what's happening in the stock market, but also globally. You might have caught wind of the heavy conditions influencing markets. The current lack of anticipated interest rate cuts is a big deal, from big players like JP Morgan to discussions on CNBC. The expectation was for at least 2 rate cuts by now, but it's increasingly likely that the Fed will have to act, as inflation isn't dropping as fast as anticipated. It's a complex situation where something needs to give, or markets will keep spiraling. While certain stocks are thriving, it's reminiscent of 2020 and 2021 when it seemed like all was well, but it was actually companies raising prices to mask dwindling sales. David Brickell, head of international distribution at FRNT Financial, and Chris Mill, a former Forex trader at the Bank of England, shared their insights in their joint newsletter. They believe the market has been overly pessimistic lately but will rebound. They pointed out 3 reasons for optimism: the Fed's dovish stance, improving liquidity conditions, and the low risk weight. This optimism is expected to bolster markets in the coming weeks. The possibility of the bank raising interest rates again soon is looming. Higher interest rates would mean borrowing becomes more expensive, which could strengthen the US dollar and have a negative impact on risky investments like Bitcoin and potentially the entire market. Continuing to raise interest rates may not be feasible, given the world's heavy reliance on debt. You've likely come across news stories or documentaries discussing various market trends, all tied to the system's dependency on debt. This is evident in the rise of companies offering, buy now, pay later options, as they seek new ways to keep people in debt, driving consumption. Major banks and institutions had initially anticipated multiple interest rate cuts to support the system, but they're now realizing the limitations of this approach. Additionally, the Fed's decision to reduce its quantitative tightening program earlier than expected by injecting $35 billion into the bond market from June onwards suggests a shift towards printing more money, which could ease market pressures globally. Everyone is waiting for signals to capitalize on different opportunities, but the overarching theme is a desire to make money across various sectors. Currently, there's anticipation for at least 2 interest rate cuts for the remainder of the year, with many eagerly awaiting these moves. Weak job data released recently suggests that the Fed may need to act swiftly. Companies resort to layoffs to maintain profitability when interest rates aren't cut, creating a skewed perception of job market health. Jobless claims don't accurately reflect unemployment rates, as they exclude those who haven't found work within a certain time frame. This contributes to a misleading portrayal of economic conditions. Similarly, inflation figures don't accurately reflect rising costs in essential areas like housing, food, and transportation. Despite the frustrations expressed on platforms like Twitter, optimism in the crypto space persists. It's intriguing how analysts consistently converge on the same conclusions, highlighting the interconnected nature of market dynamics. Amidst ongoing rumors, there's speculation about potential developments, but the market's course remains uncertain. Expanding its Bitcoin mining operations through a partnership with YPF Luz, a subsidiary of Argentina's largest electricity company. This collaboration aims to establish a new Bitcoin mining facility powered by stranded gas, utilizing resources efficiently. Genesis Digital Assets, one of the world's leading Bitcoin mining companies, is driving this expansion effort. This news comes amidst ongoing growth in the global Bitcoin mining industry, despite occasional fluctuations in hash rates. While some recent reports have suggested a slight decline in hash rates, it's important to note that fluctuations are normal in this competitive industry. Genesis Digital Assets partnership with YPF Luz highlights the innovative approaches being adopted to sustain and expand Bitcoin mining operations worldwide. With electricity generated from mining since 2022, YPF Luz's expertise complements Genesis Digital Assets' commitment to efficient and sustainable mining practices. This partnership underscores the ongoing evolution and expansion of the Bitcoin mining ecosystem, reflecting the industry's resilience and adaptability. So, essentially, Genesis Digital Assets is partnering with Argentina to utilize stranded gas for Bitcoin mining. This collaboration aims to harness unused gas that would otherwise be flared into the atmosphere. The operation, based in the Bajo del Toro thermal power plant operated by YPF Luz, will power 1,200 Bitcoin mining machines. This initiative marks the first Bitcoin mining operation in Latin America for Genesis Digital Assets, with a total power capacity of 7 megawatts and a 1 megawatt backup. Despite its significance, such news often goes unnoticed by many, especially if it doesn't immediately impact prices. That's how significant what we have is. This is something that's been happening since 2020-2021. We know that there are multiple countries who are actively mining Bitcoin or who are working directly with a company who's mining Bitcoin, and the country is getting paid in taxes in Bitcoin from the Bitcoin mining, which also lends to the idea that these countries are accumulating Bitcoin, but that news never ends up being popular for whatever reason. So yeah, the world continues to grow and expand. Bitcoin point is literally everywhere. I still honestly think the only thing that's going to get people's imaginations, running wild once again is in $90,000 Bitcoin or over 100,000. But for whatever reason, the vast majority of I know I get it. I know a lot of you there are paying attention, but the everyone else they're not. And I am always perplexed. We can't keep getting amazing news all the time and just have people not pay attention to it. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you have all enjoyed wherever you are in the morning, afternoon, or evening. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. What's that significant that we have? This is something that's been happening since 2020-2021. We know that there are multiple countries who are actively mining Bitcoin or who are working directly with a company who's mining Bitcoin, and the country is getting paid in taxes in Bitcoin from the Bitcoin mining, which also lends to the idea that these countries are accumulating Bitcoin, but that news never ends up being popular for whatever reason. So yeah, the world continues to grow and expand. Bitcoin point is literally everywhere. I still honestly think the only thing that's going to get people's imaginations, running wild once again is in $90,000 Bitcoin or over 100,000. But for whatever reason, the vast majority of I know I get it. I know a lot of you there are paying attention, but the everyone else they're not. And I am always perplexed. We can't keep getting amazing news all the time and just have people not pay attention to it. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever.